reading and video today. We're going to be talking about soul destiny. What is soul mission? What is soul destiny from an ancient objective perspective? And what are the immutable laws? Now, this is in preparation for Boundless But Boundaries that starts on November 29th. It's going to be a 3-day online workshop for creating a soul-aligned life, creating your own reality, how to protect yourself, how to protect your soul destiny, which again, it's an ancient law, okay? It's not tied to any religion. It's not tied to culture. It is not even tied, I almost want to say time, right? It is not tied to any time, right? It is timeless, these ancient immutable laws. So as always, though, whenever you come into any space, any tarot reading, feel free to take in a deep breath, connect with that inner source of yours just to see what parts may resonate with you. Now, we're going to be talking about mystery school teachings, soul destiny, and immutable laws from an objective perspective. I am going to be grabbing a Kalima card and an Isis Oracle card to lead the discussion today. So for anyone who joins, feel free to put, and what I'm seeing today is like the sword, okay, that your sword of truth. Put that emoji sword of truth in the comments below. All right. It is your birthright to attract, to manifest, and to live and to align to your soul mission, your soul destiny, whatever it is that you may call it. All right. So today is going to be an open discussion. We are going to be doing this reading over here. We're going to be doing an open discussion. It's a mystery school teaching today. So feel free to bring any questions you may have in the comments below. Feel free to continue the open conversation in the comments below. And then afterwards, we're going to be doing a reading too. All right. So taking that deep breath, connect with that inner source of yours. From the Isis Oracle, from the Kalima Oracle, what do we have today for our soul tribe? For our initiates of mystery school, what do we have today on soul destiny? Now, Kalima is, you know, it's not really said that she's a protector of soul destiny. She's definitely a protector of you on a soul level. Okay, Kalima loves on a soul level. That's why they call her intense. You know, where Kalima's protection, her methods, they don't make sense to the ego right away. You know, however, again, Kalima sees your highest soul potential. And so Kalima's going to protect you in ways that you may not understand at first, and it makes sense later on, where you're like, oh, that's how my soul destiny was able to come in. That's how, you know, the blessings came in, whatever it may be for you. Hello, Ruben. Hello. Feel free to, as you enter into this temple space today, feel free to put an emoji of the sword in the comments below, reclaiming your soul truth, your soul destiny. Put in the comments below, I reclaim all parts of my soul destiny. All right, for those of you who are just joining now, this is an open conversation today on what is soul destiny, you know, and what are the immutable laws of the universe. In preparation for, we have Boundless But Boundaries coming up November 29th. So let's drop into these mystery school teachings. Again, so when I share anything, I talk about mystery school, you know, and I've been open for my journey for the past 5 years here online. I am initiated into certain lineages, but we're speaking from an objective perspective. Okay, you're an ancient high priest or priestess. Life is your mystery school, and that's the cheat code. You know, I had a few people say this week, Jocelyn, oh my Lord Jesus Christ, that comment. Wow. Anyways, woo child. Anyways, hi Richard, how are you? Hi George, how are you? Where was I with that comment? Put a sword in the comments below, your sword of truth. I reclaim all parts of my soul destiny. You know, when it comes to creating your own reality, again, these are ancient laws. Some of them are immutable. You know, oh, objective perspective. Life is the mystery school. You're an initiate of God, of source, right? We are initiates of the children of the law of one. We are children of the law of one. And oh, that's what I was saying is recently people started like commenting, emailing me, Jocelyn, it looks like you've got the cheat code. You know, there's no gatekeeping of what the cheat code is. We have all been given the tools for the prophecy, period. Like the book of Revelations repeats itself every 250 years. We have quite literally been given all of the tools to navigate these times. There's always a Great Depression in the world. And this and that, you are chosen. You are 144,000. And if I'm not mistaken, 144,000, you don't tether to the lower timelines, you lead the way. And by lead the way, I mean, you have the consciousness, the wisdom, the tools to move forward, to create your own reality in a world where it may seem impossible, right? And so in these ancient times, or these prophetic times in the world, people are dropping into the root of fear, getting desperate, right? Chaos, war consciousness, separation consciousness, all of those things. We've seen this before. We've seen a Great Depression. We've seen world systems crumble. That's why you chose to reincarnate here. You're 144. So again, when we speak of 144,000 leading the way, it's consciousness-wise, you know, where your life is just working out for you, whether you're tethered to systems or not. You know, it doesn't matter about the banking systems, the education systems, any of the systems of the world. You're always going to thrive because you're chosen. And again, it's more of a consciousness of I am 144K. And it's remembering I can create a soul-aligned life, which may look different, you know, than other people. Your soul-aligned life will give you everything it is that you will need. You know, so maybe you call it soul destiny. Maybe you call it soul mission. Maybe you call it a soul-aligned life. But whatever is in resonance on a soul level, Lalita, there you go. Kalima said what she said. That's Lalita. Lalita represents your golden era, okay? Kalima is confirming all of this with the Lalita energy. Now, Lalita is like the light version of Kalima. She represents your golden era. So I'm just going to read this out loud as well. It's number 18, a lot of eights here. So we do have Kali Kapali as well. I'm going to read that one first. You know, but again, when you're creating your soul-aligned life, and with the Kalima energy, it's having no fear. You will be so supported. You will be provided for. In a world where people are going to be wondering of like, what are they doing? They look like a fool card living their soul-aligned life while everyone's doing something else. Remember, this is the first 30 years of Pluto in Aquarius. You already have the cheat code. 144K chosen ones. You have the cheat code. And it's not gate-kept. It's a consciousness. Right? There are objective ancient laws that have existed before, and I'll read this to you here. Now, we're going to be doing a quick reading. After that, we're going to be talking about soul destiny. We're going to be talking about the immutable laws. Feel free to put any open conversation you may have in the comments below. Any questions about spirituality, about soul destiny, put it in the comments below. If you want to start an open conversation about spirituality, soul destiny, soul tribe, this is our church today. Happy Sunday. Feel free to put it in the comments below. All right. And put that sword in the comments below. I reclaim my soul truth. I reclaim all parts of my soul destiny. Now, the immutable laws, immutable, not capable or you guys know I have a speech impediment. Sorry. Susceptible. I did it right. To change. The immutable laws of the universe, these are ancient laws, are that which is already the case. You know, so that's part of your soul destiny. That's part of what we're going to be talking about in the BBB program, Boundless But Boundaries, and it starts November 29th. You need to own your soul truth, your soul mission, your soul truth, your soul destiny, owning it. And when you, like, again, I'm seeing a sword, so put that sword in the comments below, a sword emoji. I reclaim all parts of my soul destiny. When you know your soul truth, knowing thyself is your greatest protection. You hold that sword, and no matter what they throw your way, no matter what weapons form, they shall not prosper. And when you're truly living in soul alignment, aligned with God's will, soul destiny, whatever you want to call it, everything around you just drops. It's not allowed in your energetic field. It's not allowed to prosper. And once you really own that, that's when all parts of your soul destiny start to come in. Hello, there you go. All parts of our soul destiny that start to come in. Cosmic Goddess Koi Bliss. Hello, Trisma. How are you? Yes, I love the honey. All right. And again, like when you're in soul alignment, you attract things like honey. And it's not going to be in the ways that people see it or know it. Ooh, if this doesn't seem like a normal person, you are right. I am not a normal person. You're right. You're right about that. Okay, so when you're in alignment with God's will, your soul destiny, you attract like honey, which means that, again, you may not be tethered to the same systems or living the life, you know, the way people are around you, even the world, society is around you. Everything that you need will come in. And that's an ancient law. Again, so in Boundless But Boundaries, we're going to share with you all of the ancient tips, tricks, mystery school teachings, the ancient laws that are immutable. They have existed before religions. So these laws that I'm sharing with you today, again, nothing is gate kept. They have existed before opinions, before beliefs, before religion. The immutable laws of the universe are that which is already the case. It's already the case. There's no arguing it. Prior to any thought, to any belief, and a joy to be discovered, seen, and shared. And so when we adopt this, right, I would love to go live with you, Trisma, one day, so we could talk about all of this too. She is our Ma'atso sister. But when we remember this, right? This is like ancient souls, right? We're here gathering as ancient souls. When we reclaim this ancient truth, the immutable laws are that of which is already the case. When people throw a spiritual attacks or spiritual warfare of like, oh, I don't like what you do, persecution, or that person is weird, or this or that, it doesn't work every single time. And it's not a cheat code. These are ancient laws. That again, you're 144K. You're the ones who chose not to be here in fear. Jaima Kalima. You have and you remember that you're an infinite soul with infinite potential. And anything it is that you may need for your soul mission, your soul journey, for life, right? It shall come to you. And it's not always going to be material things and money, right? Like it can be that you never go without food. You never go without this. You never go without that. You always find a way because you know thyself. You know how energy works, you ancient soul. And that's when you really start to get into creating your own reality. I'm going to share a little bit of this here. We do have 2 cards. You can be seeing the number 888 or 999. Ooh, listen to this, soul tribe. All right, you are here to co-create, not from a place of fear and limitation. You remember who you are. 1144 as I say that. She who wears the mala skulls around her neck shall never abandon you. She shall be with you always, lifetime through lifetime, in unending tenderness and devotion, conquering that which would alienate you from your truth and your creative power. All right, say nothing and no one can alienate me from my soul truth, my soul destiny, and my power. All right, this is truth for you, for everyone. Trust in the effectiveness of your prayers and your request for assistance. No matter how dire things may seem, you shall transform a negative experience into a positive one that honors your soul. And again, in the Boundless But Boundaries program, it's a 3-day workshop coming up November 29th. We're going to show you, it doesn't matter what they throw your way, it doesn't matter what spiritual warfare, it doesn't matter what spiritual attack, it doesn't matter what the energy is, right? We are non-duality in a duality world. And so take it and use it as fuel. Alchemize it to your soul destiny. All right. And you have the power to do so. This is confirmation here. And then we have Lalita over here. And I won't read Lalita. Lalita is, I'll read a little bit of actually. We're already here. Lalita represents your golden era. No matter what you have experienced, your heart shall be cleansed and released from any ugliness, sorrow, and pain. Negative karmic legacies will be cleared away. Our divine sister goddess invites you to recognize her golden restorative beauty shining within your heart. All right, cultivate that of which is worthy of such beauty, for this is your essential nature. Gracefully release all with dignity. You are meant to have a beautiful life. Okay. And by that, I mean, what is beautiful, right? What is success? That depends on you, of how you see beauty, how you see success. But to me, success is soul aligned. Something beautiful is something authentic. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it sounds like. Beauty is authenticity to me, and so it's not based on our human judgments and opinions. It's, based on what is true. Look at that. Stay true. Look at that. Stay true and be in your power. As soon as I said the word true, stay true and be in your power. Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of divine authority. Okay. This is a card of reclaiming your divine authority. And again, in this world, in this time, day, and space, where there's so many opinions, so many religions, cultures, right? There's just so many reflections. But we come back home to our ancient heart, right? We come back home to the soul, to the heart, and all becomes clear. All right, so I'm going to read this here. I did read it before. The immutable laws are that of which is already the case prior to thought and to belief. A joy to be discovered, seen, and shared. Let's see. And then it goes over some of the divine laws. I have the immutable laws over here. Feel free to put in the comments below any questions you may have on spirituality, anything you want to share on spirituality, on soul destiny, and mystery school. Put it in the comments below if you want to open a conversation or have any questions. And then we're going to be getting to a reading afterwards on soul destiny. Cosmic Goddess Goy Bliss. That is powerful. Ashe. Yes, yes. And that's our highest truths. You know, again, like we are born and they say that our memory is wiped. There's a lot of ancient cultures and traditions that say when we're born, our memory is wiped, right, from our soul. And we're here to remember who we are. All right, the immutable higher laws, the law of mentalism, the all is the mind, the universe is a mental creation, right? And when I think of that, I think of Shiva, right, the Om, and that's the big Om of the universe. You know, and in ancient times, they said the true heart was the true mind, rather, was the heart. Right? This mind here, yes, we need logic for this realm. Sometimes it can be too logical, you know, and full of programs and systems. Where are we following our soul truth, or are we following the filter of programs and of systems, right, that have been projected upon us that is not actually our truth? And so the true mind is the heart. But that's saying like you are the co-creator, right? So the law of mentalism, these are 3 immutable laws. Feel free to write it down. These 3 laws you cannot change. We could talk here, don't want to argue, you know, but there's no arguing these 3 immutable laws, no matter who you are or where we come from. These are before thought and before belief. So the law of mentalism, right? The all is the mind, but I think of, again, Om Namaha Shiva, coming back to the universal mind. Okay, this is saying that you are the co-creator. The mind is very powerful. The law of correspondence, as above, so below, so within, so without. Right? So that's also another immutable law where everything's like, say, a mirror reflection of whatever that it may be for you. And then the law of vibration, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. You know, and it feels like the mantra of today for this particular live is Om Namaha Shiva. When I do just the Om in general, but especially like Om Namaha Shiva, when I do that mantra, I feel like an atom, like, you know, atoms, protons, neutrons. When I say that mantra, saying it long enough, I can see like the nucleus and I see the protons and neutrons, right? And then that's really what it is it's activating all of that within us, right? The power of the co-creator. So that's the law of vibration. Nothing rests, right? No energy rests. Nothing can also stay the same. Energy is always moving. You know, we're here to bring the balance. Oh, hello, Joseph. Om, yes, Om is the sound of the universe. The immutable law, the law of mentalism, that's like the Om. Hi, Robin. Hi, soul sister. You make my life make sense. Thank you for being here. Truly, I appreciate all of you. You know, I can't wait till we could all be in physical spaces, you know. One day, maybe having a space here or in New York, you know, if any soul tribe ever owns or has any space for us to meet, 144 as I say that, reach out to me. Email me, let's go home 7777. So it's 4 7s. Let's go home 7777. If anyone has space and ever wants us to all co-create together, bring the soul tribe to your space. Would love to be in your space. I would love to bless your space. All right, one day we will probably have the actual physical space in Connecticut or in New York, because we do travel back and forth for a lot of soul tribe stuff. You know, we do have a Puerto Rico retreat. There is no, what is it called? Passport that is needed if you're a U.S. citizen, because it's U.S. territory. We're going to be meeting there 11/11, which I know a lot of us would like to get some time away from this mainland, you know. So I love these spaces when we're with each other just like this, you know, but I also love when we're able to meet in person. Life, death, constantly. Yes, you know, and like it's ancient truth that we're here to bring the harmony and balance. So all ancient religions believe that humans, right, we are here to bring the balance. Our soul is infinite light. Our body is what's dense, but our soul is infinite. And constantly energy is moving, right? Now, this is non-caffeine. There's no sugar in this, but me drinking this is going to bring me out of balance somehow. You and I talking here, right? I can't control what's on the other side of the screen, what people are thinking, projecting. I'm just reading the comments. Yeah, I can't control that, right? Could bring me out, like, for example, that, right? Brings you out of balance. Everything brings us out of balance. I truly believe, at least what I've experienced on my journey, we're not here to reject anything. We're not here to, we don't have to necessarily like everything or do everything. We're not here to reject everything, though. Again, law of correspondence. I believe when you dislike something or reject something enough, you actually give it power over you. So staying in a neutral place or space allows for nothing to have power over you. Hello to everyone just joining. We're talking about soul destiny and the immutable laws in preparation for Boundless But Boundaries, November 29th, for anyone who's looking to create a soul-aligned life, align with your soul destiny, and get the protection because, again, your soul destiny, it's actually an ancient law that nobody could touch it. I've seen this in my own life, and so I'll just share this story too, which I've shared before. Scorpio rising, 1 degree. I understand the energy is intense. I've always, at least, and miracles comes out too as I say that. When I was a child, God told me what my life would be. And what God told me, now I haven't worked on that book yet, but God told me, I'm going to give you a good book. I'm going to give you a really good book. And by that, he was talking about my life. And this was before the age of 10, where God told me that I would have he warned me, so let's just say that. However, in my life, Kalima has always been around. I consciously accepted her less than 10 years ago. But she's always been around in my life. I don't know if anyone else like Pisces resonates, but I was always alone. I always had to fight battles alone. I was always the tiniest one, where I was tiny, but nothing ever fully touched me, right? Or nothing ever fully prospered. And so again, I've been open about my journey on the email newsletter. Feel free to go to 144bluerosetemple.com. Our email newsletter is free. I've shared a lot of the different stories that I've been through, but I share them more as testimony to hopefully encourage some sort of hope, faith, and trust. That it's like, hey, if you see me going through all this and I still get through things, it still happens, we're still on here. Blue Rose Temple is still anchoring. Then you can too. Where again, weapons may form, but they're not going to prosper. You could be the only one on that battlefield, and you're going to slay the whole battlefield. Jaima Kalima. And that's the Kalima awakening within each and every one of us, as it doesn't matter how many things, people, energies are against you. When you're living in line with God's will, soul destiny, or soul alignment, everything's going to work out for you. It's not to say that weapons may not form, right? But they're not going to prosper. And I've seen that happen before. I shared too on the email newsletter how when I went to Puerto Rico, so I did post pictures of Puerto Rico, I got so attacked on the way to Puerto Rico, where everyone's like, no, don't go, don't go. And I'm just like, actually, this is exactly where I'm being led. To the point that I had to block certain people. They were throwing Bible verses at me, my own family. Part of my family was going against me, this and that. As soon as I blocked those people, all roads opened. And Puerto Rico was amazing, and so that's just like an example of how follow your soul truth. And other people, when they're coming from opinions, religions, or this or that, or coming from a place of fear. For me, people were trying to project upon me from a place of fear. I'm like, oh, I don't give power to any of that. Life was great. I've seen people speak lack upon me in my life, and in the instant moment, and I tell you, the instant moment that I get their message of lack, I get a donation from nowhere. I get this from nowhere. I get abundance. I get a session, but all those different things. And so it's truly, and again, right, if the immutable higher law is the law of mentalism, all is the mind. Your protection really is your mind, and how do the negative energies try to seep in, right? Negative thought forms. They try to project evil eye. They want you to feel a certain way. I shared once before of how, my body has been through a lot. I've gained a lot of weight. I've lost a lot of weight. A lot of stretch marks from losing a lot of weight. I went through a lot with my body as a kid, always in the hospital, things like that. But I'm not really an insecure person. No matter what happens with my body or my life, I'm fine. One day, I started feeling it where I almost felt hot. And it was like, what the heck? Why am I feeling this way? This doesn't feel like my truth. Turns out somebody was talking about my looks, and I found it a few days after. I was like, I felt the evil eye, but that was not my own thoughts. I'm just sharing that because be mindful, right? Of be mindful of negative thought forms that people try to project upon you. You can't do this, you can't do that, that's bad, that's this, that's that. If it's your soul destiny, it's your birthright to manifest it. And they would only be getting in the way. There's no authority to whatever get in the way. Oh my Jesus, these comments today. Happy Sunday. Jesus Christ. Religion is old, yes, but ancestors are before. We are the chosen ones. Yes, Mark. And I appreciate you, Mark. I really do. Are us in our heart's DNA, spiritual unison. Yes, the galactic ancestors, right? Before we even had physical ancestors, we had galactic ancestors, light beings that led our physical ancestors. Who led our physical ancestors? The galactic ancestors. You know, Patreon members, we have ancestral libations, ancestral offerings that we put on both tiers. Tier 2, you got a separate video. So you're getting a separate video of different libation and offering ideas for the ancestors. We did that for some main, but feel free to go join our Patreon. Patreon members, you already know that you get free access to all workshops no matter what. And so Patreon members, you're getting free access to our Boundless But Boundaries workshop. So feel free to check out the Patreon Blue Rose Mystery School. Greetings all. Yes. Cells are living and dying. Yes, every single moment energy is moving. Even when we're sleeping, energy is moving. Hello, Dino. How are you? Yeah, you know, and they say that we don't use all of our DNA. If we were to use all of our DNA, we would be gods, you know, and really just what that is us, you know, reclaiming our source intelligence, right? We are the AI. What's the agenda of AI in the first 30 years of Pluto and Aquarius? For you to forget that, so you start giving away your power. When it comes to AI, it's just reflective, right? Law of correspondence, right? Mirror reflective of actually our consciousness as humans. And so AI is mirror reflecting what you can do as a human. You can, right, get information, wisdom through all time and through all space. You can reclaim your multidimensional soul gifts from a past life. You could release past life energy. You could telepathically communicate, you know, all of those different things. And so when it comes to AI, like, does it serve, I'm also not a light worker that's like, everything has to be organic. And this, you know, it's like those light workers are going to have a hard time because this world is very technology based. And there's a balance in it all, right? We think of Atlantis. Why did Atlantis fall? Too much technology, right? Too much of that stuff. We've seen the movie I, Robot. Let's not repeat it. You know, yes, cosmic goddess Koi Bliss. They want you witchcraft on. I don't know what that means. They want you to think and act against yourself. Yes, these programs, these systems, they want you to think against yourself. They want you to act against yourself. All right, times of the clash of the parallel universe. Yes. All right, let's get into reading for Soul Destiny. We already have from Kali Ma. Did we get in that reading? Oh, stay true and be in your power from Isis, the Isis Oracle deck. All right, so what Kali Ma is saying here, but just in general, you are protected infinitely. All right, you will be protected in all of your ways. You will manifest and materialize all parts of your soul destiny. Lalita, your golden era is here. All right. So take in a deep breath, connect with that inner source of yours. We're going to be getting in a reading on soul destiny alignment. What do we have for the ancient souls, the chosen ones today? For Kali, Kapali, Lalita, Tripura Sundari. I have a speech impediment, sorry. It's been like the past 5 years, but you said that incorrectly. I have a speech impediment for 5 years. The people who usually say, oh my God, you're pronouncing incorrectly. I'm like, oh, you're new here. I've been saying things incorrectly for so many years. Revelation maturity, but it's also spiritual maturity, right? We have open like the lotus, and that's the 144,000, right? 144,000 is the book of Revelations. In Hinduism, 144K is when the crown is aligned with that supreme soul, right? Flowering spirit, revelation, book of Revelations, there you go, and maturity, right? And this is spiritual maturity, where you don't have to come from a place of fear. There's no judgment, but your soul destiny is your soul destiny. And it was not a conference call, right? So you could manifest, you can materialize any part of your soul destiny. You are protected from anyone who is programmed, right? Who is projecting upon you, who's operating against you. You're protected from all of those people. Your soul destiny is protected from all of those people. What do we have? Ishtar. I have been feeling the voice of, oh, Ishtar. Yes, I love Ishtar, Anana. Anana and the seven gates. I love her. It is Scorpio season too, so those scorpionic deities, gods and goddesses are coming through. Persephone. There we go. Should I share that story? Should I share it? Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion. I think in the other card deck it says, yeah, should I share the story? Jesus. Okay, Jesus is telling me to share it. So like Hades is also, right, a god of the underworld. Persephone. Now, first of all, when they say, like, you know, society, Hollywood portrays Hades and Persephone as lovers, no, they're not. Persephone is his niece. Like, if we look at the story, right, Persephone is clearly his niece, because Zeus is her, right? Zeus is her dad, Demeter is her mother, which is Hades' sister. So he took his niece and was like, I'm gonna, you know, like the aunt and uncle that takes the kid, right? And you're like, oh, that's the one aunt and uncle I do not want my kid going alone with. That's Hades. And that's what Hades did with Persephone. There's a lot of Persephone. And I was just talking about gods, goddesses of the underworld. Scorpio season. This is Persephone energy here with freedom, action, and power, because Persephone is spirit of spring. She's also the queen of the underworld and the queen of spring over here too, with freedom, action, and power. Now, just a funny story, and I told someone this today too. For Hades, most people think of Hades and think of like the underworld and dark and scary. For me, 144, as I say this, when Hades comes through for me, he comes in pink. And this was yesterday. I got a gift card to, I know this is like off topic a little bit. We're talking about Persephone and gods and goddesses of the underworld. I had a gift card to get my nails done, and I feel from Hades right away of get your nails pink. A car cuts me off and the license plate is Big Dog. All right. Yep. I got my nails pink. But with that, yes, you love Inanna. Yes, I love Inanna, Persephone, Ishtar. You know, so we do have open like the lotus here, spirit of spring, freedom, action, power. When it comes to soul destiny, you are free to manifest and materialize your soul destiny, period. You know, dharma unfolding, confirmation, your dharma, right? Soul alignment, soul purpose, soul destiny. You know, again, we are in an ever awakening world. And so most people are like, no, they can't do that. That's not ancient law. Ancient law is that you're only here to live your soul mission, your soul truth, your soul destiny. Just like the Arcturians, we're just here to honor other people's soul destiny. You know, I connect a lot with a Guruji that's in Sri Lanka, and he's a Buddhist. But we work together of supporting all religions, all lands. Who are we to like discern based off of belief of who we help, who we serve, who we feed, right? You know, and I think these times are just kind of exposing that too, you know, of like, oh, these are not the times of like, well, I'm not helping you. And this, no, where's the Christ heart, the Christ love in these times? You know, Christ is not bound to any religion, any land, any culture. We're all here to be in our Christed hearts and to serve as the Christ, which again has nothing to do with any separation consciousness. You are free to live your soul aligned life. You're free to create a life that is soul aligned. And to be quite honest, you have spiritual authority. Whatever your soul destiny, your soul mission is, you have the spiritual authority of anyone who tries to block, stop, obstruct, attack any path or road or door of your soul destiny. You know, and that is your soul's highest truth. These are immutable laws before religion, before thought, before belief. All right, I'm going to grab a few more cards. What do we have for Kali Kapali, Lalita, open like the lotus, flowering spirit, revelation, maturity, freedom, action, and power? Why do we have Kali Kapali, Lalita, freedom, action, power, revelation, and maturity for the collective soul destiny? This reading on collective soul destiny. What do we have on freedom, Lalita? We do have Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. Focused intention. And when I see that, you know, we have Freya over here, phases and cycles. Again, your soul destiny is not a conference call. With Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. Focus intention, Diana. What is your soul destiny, your soul truth? Create from there. And it can be scary to do that, right? In an awakening world where people are just awakening to what you already know, right? For all of you 144K chosen ones, you're going to be celebrated 50, 100 years from now. What you already know, people are going to be figuring out 20 years from now. Just because maybe the number, right, of, and I don't really like to use the words unawakened, but the number of people awakening in this time compared to the number of people who are firm and know their soul destiny is like this. And so even though it might be like this, hold your sword, hold your soul truth, right? You are 144K, you lead the way. Think about what you desire, set your sights high, expect the best possible outcome. Again, the immutable law, right? These three laws are immutable. There's no changing them, no opinions. The law of mentalism, all is the mind, right? And so in your soul destiny, it's knowing yourself, knowing who you are on a soul level, and then have fun with this physical realm, right? Materialize it, manifest it into this physical realm. Hello, Span Workhorse. Thank you for always being here. I always appreciate your comments. Again, I can't wait till one day we could all like physically be together, but as long as the frequency exists through all time and space. So I love when we can gather in these spaces, the workshops run live. All right, for this reading, for soul destiny, for the collective, wide downloads and understanding, focused intention, Lalita, freedom, action, power, flowering spirit, revelation, maturity. Man holding a coin, action over here, and woman holding a heart. When I think of the heart and the coin, I think of the spiritual and the material. You know, there are some, how do I word this? The material realm is Maya, yes. Is illusion, yes. You can co-create with it though. Don't avoid the material realm. A lot of Pisces, I know I read mostly for Pisces. As Pisces, we like the ethers. I remember it was like maybe 7 years ago now that I had a shaman cut a cord to the ethers. And she's just like, in one lifetime, you operated from the heart up only, and there's still a cord to that lifetime. So it's been a journey for me of like grounding. You know, I have a lot of Pisces. I'm a Pisces stellium and a 12th house stellium. If you have a lot of spiritual energy, you have just as much material energy. It's just figuring out how to materialize and manifest that, and vice versa. You know, there's a balance of the material of the spiritual. But what Spirit's saying here too is when you're coming from a soul and heart place, it shall and it must manifest, right? Should I say this? There's certain things I'm like, oh, it's Scorpio season. I feel like my mouth is just getting worse for Scorpio season. And then I'll go back to normal, was Sagittarius season, my moon sign. Is anyone Scorpio here? Feel free to put in the comments below where you have Scorpio. Put in the comments below, I reclaim all parts of my soul destiny. You know, it's not a sin to manifest your soul destiny. They want to take your power away. I almost want the microphone for this one. 33, as soon as I say that, confirmation, 333. Anyone who is telling you that you are sinful, you're bad for manifesting your soul destiny, those are people that want power over you. Sophia Star, yes, with the Scorpions. Whoever is telling you in your life, projecting it upon you, that's like, oh, you shouldn't want that for yourself. You shouldn't this or that. Whatever's in your soul destiny, that's law for you. And it has a lot to do with you too, or like, you know, and how do I word this? It has to come from the heart, the soul, where you're here to be of sacred service, whatever that may be. You know, and I know in the spiritual talk and spiritual online, it's always like millionaire and this and that. Some people's soul destiny is to be at home and to stay home with their kids, and that's their soul destiny. Some people's soul destiny is to be a light in the medical field. Some people's soul destiny is to be a shaman that's in the woods. Whatever it is, we're all working together. You know, again, soul destiny is not a conference call, and there's no judgment of what soul destiny is. You know, so even like I as a light worker, you know, we see like these millionaire coaches of like, you leave your life, leave everything behind. Only if that's your soul destiny. That's it.
You know, follow your soul destiny, your soul truth, whatever it may be. For some people, it is completely untethering from systems. For some people, you are the light in that system. But it's also no judgment of what anyone's soul destiny is. You know, if we're truly coming from a 144,000 place, right, chosen ones, remembering who we are, then as long as someone's in alignment with God's will or living a life in soul alignment, right? I like, at least for me, I love that. I don't care what people talk like, look like. I like authenticity. I don't like feeling when like someone's holding back, they're faking something, etc. If you're authentic and God's truth for you, I love that for you. I don't care what it is. That's all that we should want as human beings, for other people to be in God's will. Because we understand that even if someone else is in God's will and it's in a different way than us, it's making this world a better place. You know, and if we're truly creating the new earth, then that's all that matters. You know, we're going to be getting to the tarot now too. What do we have for the ancient souls, the chosen ones, on their soul destiny? What do we have? You are a healer. Okay, now for some of you, you need to hear that your soul destiny is you are a healer. Now, what that looks like for you is going to be different for everyone. We have chakra healing over here, High Priest of Atlantis. You know, some people, and it's both sides. I see this even in spirituality again, where it's like, oh, these people are of the world. Actually, it's their soul destiny to be a light in the world, right? I remember meeting someone who like would avoid McDonald's completely. Like, where I'm just going to share this experience where I had to go to the bathroom and they were like, I'm sorry, but I can't stop for you at McDonald's. I'm like, what the fuck? I just need to go to the bathroom. Damn. You know, some people, you know, again, in spirituality, not everybody is going to go into the grass. For people who are in the patriarchal system, no. And I'm sorry, that's just coming from me. No, not all of us are going to tether to these patriarchal programs and systems. Some of us are just here to be a high priest or priestess. That's it. Some people are here to be a light in the medical system. Maybe at McDonald's. Maybe at this or that. I'm not saying to eat McDonald's food, but what I'm saying is, you know, who are we to, and it goes both ways. Again, patriarchal systems, programs, the world, but even spiritual community, you know, where we cannot force or control anyone, right? And again, as long as someone's living in alignment with soul destiny, I have shared, you know, like I am initiated into specific lineages, but I come from an objective perspective of mystery school. Life is your mystery school. You are the initiate. Maybe it's your soul destiny to be in a lineage, you know, maybe it's not, but we're just here to celebrate each other in God's will, and we're just here to co-create with one another. All right, you are a healer. You are the light. Your presence is heaven. Okay, your presence is a healing presence wherever and whatever that may be for you. I'm going to grab just a few more cards. You know, so yeah, like we're here to celebrate one another, you know, and that's just the highest truth. I love your name, Sophia Star. Think of Sophia. Yes, who are we to judge? You know, and I have chills as I say that, but it's both ways. You know, where the program, like society judges the woo-woo spiritual people. And then sometimes the spiritual people do judge the programs, you know, the people who are in industries and this and that. I will say YouTube, like I'm thankful for YouTube, where I've met people all over the world. I know such, you know, sometimes even like say celebrities or CEOs, this or that are actually really good people, and they are a light in their industry, you know. And then there's people that are like, oh, that person, they look like that, they don't make a lot of money, this or that. That person's a really good healer. All right, like that person's an awesome healer, and they untethered from those systems. Who cares, you know? NY Debs. Yeah, say hello to your neighbor in the comments below. Feel free to put a sword in the comments below. I reclaim all parts of my soul destiny and soul truth. What's a final oracle message before we get into the tarot of soul destiny? Prosperity. Heaven. Look at heaven. There you go. You are here to bridge heaven on earth. You are a bridge of heaven on earth. Okay, I was hoping that the heaven card came out, but it's on the bottom of the deck. I'll take it. We do have prosperity here. You are aligned. Look at that. Heaven again. Okay. You are here to live your soul destiny. Your soul destiny is your highest potential as a soul. And it's always available to you. You know, a lot of times the fear, the lack, the things going on in the world, that's not going to stop you. You're 144K, you're chosen ones. You shall attract everything that you need. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every roadblock, any obstacle, any blockage, it must be removed because that is law. All right. You are aligned with the power of the heavens, the strength of the earth. Look at that. Heaven and earth. All right. You are all earth angels watching me. And so when you reclaim your soul destiny, it's the UPS lady. What I find hilarious is that I was wearing the UPS costume and I thought everyone was commenting ups. I'm like, why is people saying ups? What is ups? You know, yes, it's the UPS lady. In that reading, I said I fell from heaven and the heaven card came out. But confirmation, you know, it's okay to bridge in the material realm. And what it looks like for everyone's going to be different, right? I got UPS delivery on Sunday. That's funny. You're aligned with the power of the heavens. But, you know, this reading also is coming through to give you permission. I'm hearing, I give you permission. Jesus Christ gives you permission to manifest and materialize everything that's in alignment with your soul destiny. All right, but truly that's law, you know, and oftentimes like we'll feel shame and guilt of other people, ideas, you know, even past lives. We could have shame and guilt from past lives. Whatever's in your Akashic records, whatever's in your soul destiny, it is not a sin to manifest it. I don't care what it is. Where for some people, maybe it's $1 million. Maybe it's a bunch of fruit. Like maybe it's a beautiful garden. Whatever it is, the prosperity that's in alignment with your soul destiny. For some of you, your Ori. For others of you, you know, whatever resonates with you. Soul mission, soul purpose. There's many different ways to describe it. It's your authority to manifest it. It's your birthright to manifest it. You know, and this reading is also coming through of kind of like reminding you, giving you permission that whatever is already in alignment with you on a soul level, you can manifest it, materialize with no shame, no guilt, no fear. Whatever anyone else thinks, the evil eyes, it's not going to prosper because it is your soul destiny and mission. You are aligned with the power of the heavens, the strength of the earth, and the harmony of the people. Everything you have dreamed of is taking shape now. Receive the generosity and abundance. Be self-effacing and gracious. Okay? And I am going to say this. I wasn't going to say this. I try not to like stir pots. But in the times of today, right? Look at what the millionaires and billionaires are doing. Most of them, at least. If you don't like it, become one. And that just somebody needs to hear that. If you don't like the way of, become one, right? And that power, right? It means nothing. But if it's in alignment with your soul destiny, your soul mission, you know you will hold everything. All the material things that are already in alignment on a soul level, Akashic record, soul destiny, it's for the world. It is not for you. It is for the world. You're just a holder of what God has for you to share. You know, and so some people just need to hear it, like be open. You know, I've been saying this, but I'm still going to say it, that there's a wealth transfer happening, right? We're seeing what's going on in the world. We can see how there are billionaires that could actually help, you know, and there's always a balance to that, right? There's a balance, boundaries, but they can actually make a difference. Are they doing it? So light worker, you be open to it. You be the blessing. God is shifting your life so that you become the blessing. All right, some of you are going to have nonprofits. Some of you be open to receiving whatever. You can put it in the comments below. There are no limits to what it is that I receive that's already in soul alignment. If it's soul aligned, if it is an alignment with your soul destiny, no shame, no guilt. It's coming straight from God. It is crystallized. And so receive it with no shame and guilt because you can make a difference in this world. Right? This crazy world. It's tree sap, not blood. That's funny. Mama Sekhmet. Yes. Dua Sekhmet Sahu. I love it. Respect and love. I'll see what I can do now. My mother Sekhmet and all the others. Yes. Activated charcoal and dragon's blood for my ulcer. You can't make anyone happy but yourself. Yes. Feel free to also put in the comments below if you have a topic on spirituality or soul destiny, any questions, or if you want to start an open conversation, put it in the comments below. We're going to get to the tarot. Afterwards, we're going to continue this conversation, get some closing messages. And feel free to join the Boundless But Boundaries program. We're going to be going over all of these ancient laws in depth, how to protect your soul destiny, which it's already ancient law. But now that we know that, how do we work with that? How do we create a soul-aligned life? So Boundless But Boundaries starts November 29th. It's a 3-day online retreat. We're even getting some healing in, some wealth Reiki. So we're getting in money Reiki, meditations, and it's just 3 days of presentations, rituals, mantras, everything you need for creating a soul-aligned life. All right. Yes, I receive. God, yes, I love that. True Intentions 144. I receive with no shame and no guilt. God knows I would share the love. God knows. And that makes me want to cry even when I say that. I receive with no shame. I receive with no guilt, that of which is already soul aligned, because God knows my heart. Yes, I would like a simple explanation of Akashic Records. Yeah, so we'll get in everyone feel free to put in the questions below. If you have any topics of spirituality, soul destiny, or you want to open a conversation, put it in the comments below. We're going to get a few cards from the tarot on your soul destiny. What do we have for the ancient souls, for the chosen ones on soul destiny? Yes, your blessings will be like, I love that. Your blessings will be like mine. I am servant. Yes. There's a truck locally that goes by, and it's the dutiful daughter. And whenever I see that, I always see it as like a sign from God. The dutiful daughter or son. What do we have for the chosen ones on soul destiny? Why do we have Lalita here? Why do we have Lalita for soul destiny for the chosen ones? All right. I do see walking away from what doesn't serve you. Let's see. For soul destiny, for the chosen ones, what do we have? The message on soul destiny. Why the 10 of Cups here? Why the 8 of Cups here for this message on soul destiny? You do not have to consent to that of which is not in alignment on a soul level. Right? Now, there are certain ancient traditions, ancient religions, 144 as I say that. I'm thinking of one ancient religion. It's more of a system. It's not a religion. So like Hermeticism, certain African traditions, they're systems. You know, they have become religions, but they're more of a system of consciousness. And there's other systems too. But there are certain ancient systems that say anything that's not in alignment with your soul destiny, you have the authority to change, period. That you do not have to accept anything that's not in alignment with your soul destiny. Now, let's just get into this. King of Pentacles, ambition guides me to manifest prosperity and stability. Ace of Wands. This is saying that you've got the power. You know, you do have the power to materialize and to manifest in the physical what it is that you may need for your soul destiny. And with no shame, no guilt. You know, that you know, like say, for example, don't feel any shame or guilt of receiving, say, a check. Maybe you open a healing retreat center. And, you know, like someone may see you of like, oh my God, why did the person get $10,000? Because you're going to heal thousands and thousands of people in that center. So of course you're going to say, you know, it's like things like that where don't accept the naysayers, the evil eye. God knows your heart, okay? What this reading is saying with soul destiny is you can manifest and materialize everything, everyone, the sacred wealth, the abundance, whatever it is for your soul destiny. And that's what it's saying. Ace of Wands, King of Pentacles, Justice card with the 10 of Cups. Again, like you're coming from a pure place. And so whatever's not in alignment with that, you could walk away. We have 10 of Wands with the 8 of Cups here. I release burdens that do not serve me. 8 of Cups, I seek deeper meaning and emotional fulfillment. Now, why King of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands here for the chosen ones for soul destiny? Why the Justice card with the 10 of Cups for soul destiny? Balance, 2 of Pentacles. And the Justice card here, it is balance. There's a lot of balance there. Why 10 of Wands and 8 of Cups for chosen ones for the soul destiny reading? Knight of Wands. Why 10 of Wands and the 8 of Cups for the chosen ones for soul destiny alignment? The Sun card. Yeah, Knight of Wands. And with the Sun card over here, interesting, we have the Devil card, right? It's kind of saying no to the Devil card energy where it's like, oh, this is not actually in alignment with my highest truth. With the Sun card over here. And what was I saying before? Success looks different for everyone. You know, like for me, what do I consider successful or someone who's successful? I have a lot of Pisces and 12th house. So I don't care what you show. I don't care what you look like. I don't care how much money is in your bank account. I can feel when someone is authentic or soul aligned, and so me, I just like happy people. Like, when someone's being authentic, when they're just being themselves. And that to me is like true success. When you can live a life and just waving your whatever freak flag, weirdo flag, your soul destiny flag, it doesn't matter what it looks like, and you're just living in God's will and living in soul alignment, that's success, and that's what I see here. We have the Sun card, the Knight of Wands. 10 of Wands, what I see is, again, with soul destiny alignment, it's saying, yes, you can manifest everything in alignment on a soul, with your soul. You can materialize it though, too. You can receive all of the tools, the resources, whatever it may be for your soul destiny. All right. And then by the end of this, 10 of Wands, 8 of Cups, you can walk away from things that do not serve you. Like, say, for example, it is not in your soul destiny at all to continue going through the education system. Just because everybody else is doing it, just because you live in a country that's like, what's your degree? Things like that. You can walk away of like, nope, that's not my truth. And you remain in that Sun card energy. Your purpose is to be happy. And with that, you may get a calling. Okay? And not even that you may get a calling, you'll have a calling. But our purpose is to hold the Christ frequency, to be happy. 2 of Wands over here. Queen of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Ooh, you got a partnership coming in. Why do we have the Sun card here for soul destiny? Why the Sun card over here? Ooh. And then my shaman messages me at the same time. The Emperor, masculine energy over here. I hope he knows that I'll call him back. We have the Knight of Cups here and the Emperor. Okay, and so somebody's coming in. Okay, could be a masculine energy over here. With the masculine energy, though, it's action. It's protection, right? Like, this represents for me the law of 3. So I actually got this tattoo before really, like, this was almost 10 years ago now. It's 777, so that's why it looks like this. 7 sevens, like, all tied together, and the law of 3. But with the law of 3, it represents, say divine masculine, divine feminine. How do I word it? Divine masculine, divine feminine, and then co-creation, right? So a lot of times light workers are in their feminine energy of like, well, I have a soul destiny and it's just going to manifest. We need the masculine energy. We need to take action, the discipline, the organization, the protection, all of that. We need that in order to manifest, right? So the divine masculine and feminine within and without of us, they work together to birth something, right? Like in Christianity, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, what that's talking about is the law of 3. And they're taking that esoteric-ism, right, or esoteric teachings and remixed it a little bit. Let me get back. Any mods here? Yeah. This is church. I will make you a mod. Let's see. There we go. Whenever someone's a moderator, feel free to reach out for a short reading. Go to church. We are in church. What are you talking about? Hello from the UK. When the flower is picked, it grows back. The second you turn around, the Father said, make all your words in kindness and humility. Your blessings will be like mine. I am your servant. I love that. Would all the gods and other races be happy if I got a tattoo to represent them all? I think it's humans that created separation. There's truth that certain things that can bring imbalance if mixed together. I've just seen it too. But I think too, at the end of the day, everything is one. Like truly, everything is one. If we dive deep enough into any religion or culture, it's all kind of saying the same thing. Like, for example, the question on Akashic records, which is what I was going to get to next too. In other religions and cultures, they don't have the Akashic records. They have different methods of your soul destiny, your soul truth, which I've been through. So I've been through initiations of 2 different religions, 3, where I have been through Kalima initiations. For me, Kalima is very natural for me. It was an awakening inside of me, and she just never left. But how do I word this? Yeah, the Akashic Records comes in different ways. And so there's certain ancient cultures and religions where you could get like a life reading. As soon as I say that, I'm getting I've got a lot of phone calls right now. Your name might be Lisa. Okay, your name might be Lisa because there's a Lisa calling me. There's certain cultures and traditions where they don't call it Akashic Records, but it's technically like a life reading. And I will say, I've had Akashic Records. I've also gone to other ancient systems and I've had their versions of Akashic Records, kind of saying the same thing. I will say, I don't think Akashic Records is as accurate, and that's just because Akashic Records depends on the consciousness of someone reading the Akashic Records. And so, like, say, for example, I've heard people say Akashic Records is the fifth dimension. No, Akashic Records can go all the way to the 12th dimension if the person reading the Akashic Records has the ability to access it. So when you're getting an Akashic Records reading from someone, you can only get the information based off how high they can go. I've gotten kind of like an Akashic Records reading from other ancient systems and cultures that basically kind of was the same thing, but very concrete, very specific, almost like a mathematical scientific formula. So Akashic Records it's not really a library, but it's a way for us to visualize it. It's a state of consciousness where we can enter basically your soul record, right? Even the earth has its own Akashic Records. And it's like a soul record of all the lives it is that you have lived, everything that you've been through or will go through. But again, I would say, and this is something that, I do a lot of Akashic Records. And that's something I think I do actually more than tarot readings as Akashic Records readings. But with Akashic Records, it's just being mindful that similar to tarot, sometimes it can have like human opinion filtered with it. Where, again, people are reading the Akashic Records from where they are. And it can always shift and change. I've had Akashic Records, for the most part, I don't get like too many readings actually, but I'll share like once I had an Akashic Records where like it wasn't too much, and not in a bad way, but just knew that there was like more, right? And again, not like in a bad way or anything. But Akashic Records is again like an etheric library where you're just able to access the soul contracts of your soul. And I will say they manifest, where Akashic Records, I'm sorry, my hair keeps getting in my eye. When I do Akashic Records for people, usually within a week, they start to see results. Where there was one time I did an Akashic Records for someone and I said, it's going to be a confirmation if your coffee spills. The next day, spilled all over their roommate. I had an Akashic Records once, this was maybe 3 months ago. And I told the woman, you're going to get a sign of a feather. And within 3 days, a feather landed right in her lap and she like ran to text me. So the Akashic Records, it's not hocus pocus. It's not bogus at all. Soul destiny is soul destiny. And then in other ancient systems and cultures, they don't call it Akashic Records, but it's still like a reading of your soul and your soul destiny. So when we work with the Akashic Records, we can work with the multidimensional parts of us, of like, say, past life fears that are creating a blockage, past life cords, right? So like, for example, that person that just keeps coming back into your life, you go into the Akashic Records, you find out why, you could finally say, release them, right? Or maybe come to peace and resolution. Say even knowing parts of your soul destiny. There's a lot that Akashic Records can reveal and help heal. But again, it's not just spiritual. Like you will see the results in the material if you're doing the work to integrate it. And I would say in any spiritual practice, integration is so important. You could get a tarot reading from someone. You could go to a shamanic ceremony. That was not the magic. The true magic is you and your decisions and choices. And so, my shaman did try calling me during this reading. One thing, I apprenticed for him for over 5 years. And one thing he had taught me was the ceremony starts after the ceremony. This whole thing that we're doing, that you paid me for and this and that, your ceremony starts when you go home and you actually apply the ceremony and you integrate it. Until then, it is what it is, right? But nobody performs magic for you. Your integration is the magic. Which is why, sometimes you'll go get a healing session from someone. You'll get a tarot reading. you do a ceremony and things don't manifest from it, or this or that. It does require integration and your work in the physical reality, right? In order for things to come in for you, or in order for it, you know, to prosper, to quote unquote work. All right, so for soul destiny, for the chosen ones, what's the advice of aligning with their soul destiny? What is the advice? Now, for some of you, I do see healing the past could be advice on aligning with your soul destiny. We have Six of Cups, which could represent the past. It could represent the inner child as well. Six of Cups says joyful memories enhance my present, but then you have the Three of Swords here. And so with aligning with soul destiny, releasing old energy, I'm seeing the mental and emotional field. Now, what you can do, Archangel Michael's coming through. You can get a candle, purple, blue, or white. You can call upon the sword of Archangel Michael and say, I cleanse, I clear, and I cut all cords with any negative energy in my mental, emotional realm, right? Say negative thought forms, evil eye, things like that. What this feels like, you know, what's in the way of soul destiny, maybe programming, right? It's like, say, your mom that told you when you were a kid that that's not possible. Your neighbors, right? Your community, your old friends that are like, oh, that's not possible, you know, or the old pain and hurt. That could be what's holding you back. Why is Six of Cups with the Three of Swords for advice on soul destiny alignment? Three of Wands, expanding beyond it, confirmation. All right, Three of Wands is you're expanding out of the past, right? Out of the old ways of thinking. Again, if the immutable law, we have three immutable laws. One of them is the law of mentalism, the Om of the universe. The all is the mind, the universe is a mental creation. And so a little bit of soul destiny alignment is healing the past, right? Where the lack mentality, fear, this and that, it's releasing the old ways of thinking, the old fears that we used to have. You know, like say for example, like I personally grew up with a parent that was scared of everything, and it was never my truth. Where I'm so sorry to that parent. I used to terrify my parents so much. Also, I'm all Pisces. Their Pisces is their Chiron for this parent of mine. And so that's our soul contract. You know, but I was like a little Kalima of like triggering a parent of mine's fears that I didn't even know as a kid were their fears, right? We're not meant to move forward with fear, you know, and oftentimes it's like your parents, right? Family. What are the first ideas and belief systems that we adopt? Our family's belief systems, which may not always be what it serves us on a soul level. So it's going back to the past, you know, it's healing the inner child. It's healing, like say even ancestral programming, you know, where we can have ideas, beliefs, fears from our ancestors, you know, so it's healing all of those things to expand beyond it. And that's truly when we can come into alignment with our soul destiny. Three of Wands, I expand my horizons, mind, right? Body, soul, with every step that I take here. And that's the advice. Let me go back to the comments here. I'm going to grab some oracle cards of advice as well. Oh my gosh. Could anyone, would anyone like to be a moderator? It is Sunday. We need some Jesus Christ. Oh, I love that. NY Debs. I'm a third generation to escape communism. Yes, bless you. Bless you. Yes, I'm third generation English speaking. Technically second generation. My parents were the first to learn technically English. The other ones really don't really know English. Like grandparents wise, they didn't really know English. My grandmother just learned about the letter W right before she passed. So the second generation of speaking English, which is why, you know, maybe that's also why my English is, I don't know what it is, but I pronounce things a little bit wrong, this and that. Finger Lakes. Oh, New York. I'm from the Bronx. Shout out New York. So you can always go to someone for the Akashic records. You also have, it's your birthright to access the Akashic records. No one can withhold that from you. And so you could go like on Google, type in Akashic records pathway prayer. I would recommend Linda Howe. So you could even type in Linda Howe, Akashic records pathway prayer. It's a known Akashic records prayer that can be beneficial in helping you access them. Oh, hello, D7. How are you? All right, let's get in some closing messages, some advice. What is some advice for the chosen ones on aligning with soul destiny? Lake, all right, you got some prosperity. Now, we do have balance karma. We are here to bring balance in all ways, shapes, and forms. The fall season and fertile energy of the West brings you prosperity. All of your efforts are in coalescing and approaching fruition. Rejoice with friends and plan family reunions. Count your blessings, be grateful, and forgive. Okay, so beautiful things are coming in for you. Again, whatever's in alignment with your soul destiny, your soul mission. You do not have to feel shame, guilt, or fear about having, manifesting, or receiving those things. You know, it's again, it's I don't necessarily like stoic can always be not great or good, right? But it's being a little bit stoic with your soul truth of like, nope, this is soul aligned, and so it's ancient law, right? Don't self-betray yourself. Don't self-sabotage yourself from the projections or evil eyes of other people. It's ancient law that you can have and manifest anything that's in alignment with your soul destiny, your soul truth, and your Akashic records. What do we have for the chosen ones on soul destiny? What do we have for the chosen ones on aligning with soul destiny? Oh, you got a person here. We do have woman holding a heart that came out. Now we have man holding a heart. Okay, and yin yang over here, whatever that may mean for you, I don't know, but balance. Okay, now for some of you, you do have someone coming in, and it feels like, especially with the soul destiny talk 111, as I say that, this person is soul aligned with you. Okay, so there's someone over here holding a heart. They want to give it to you. This person is soul aligned. What do we have for the chosen ones, the ancient souls on aligning with soul destiny? Pure, joyful friendships, loving help, high vibration, mindfulness, power of the mind. So again, right before we close out this live, we're going to talk about the 3 immutable laws, the law of mentalism, the mind, right? And that's what this is here. The all is the mind, the law of correspondence, and the law of vibration. We do have pure, joyful friendships, loving help. Be open to loving help. Be open to the soul mates, the soul clients, right? For those of you who are light workers that give and share space, maybe you have a soul business, your soul clients, your soul mates, you are destined to align with them. So call them in, be open to them. But confirmation, there's someone coming into your life. They are pure and they have pure intentions. All right, what do we have for the ancient souls on soul destiny? Truth, expand your consciousness, and then patience over here. All right. Now, this is living in alignment with your truth, right? And we did have the 3 of Wands, expanding your consciousness, where that could go so deep, right? Of expanding consciousness. I would say too, it's stepping out of fear, and it's like, no, it's my birthright. It's my sovereignty. It's actually my authority. My ancient authority to live in my soul destiny, my soul truth. It's not coming from a place of ego, you know, so there's no need for like the shame, the guilt, all of that stuff. When you say yes to your soul destiny, you're saying yes to God. Your soul destiny is the highest way you could serve others. So whatever your soul destiny is, it is. And reclaiming it with no shame, no guilt, with no fear. Right, I'm going to grab just a few more cards. What are some final, we're going to grab an Isis one too. What are some final messages for soul destiny? Ooh, we have DNA. It is in your DNA over here. What do we have for soul destiny? It's interesting. We have ritual needed, but then we have no action needed. Why do we have cycle closed, past life over here? All right, now for some of you, there's no action needed over here. All right. And it feels like this is coming, right? When it comes to fear of like, oh my God, this person's doing that to me. They're doing that to me. You know, they're coming up against my soul destiny, this or that. Coming out of a place of fear of like the let them theory, right? Let them. F around and find out. And then they do, right? No action needed over here. And so that's what Spirit's saying here, you know, aligning with your truth. There's no action needed. We do have ritual needed here. For some of you, maybe you get into ritual. Maybe you're thinking of like, should I protect my soul destiny, this or that? Now, I will say once I saw, which I actually love who this person is, but this was 3 years ago. I saw someone of like, oh, I'm selling Akashic Records spell protection. Nobody needs I have never, and I will never recommend a ritual for protecting your Akashic records. fuck around and find out. Or I've seen it. Like, it's not going to work. If anyone even tries to, you don't have to drop into fear. It's like, well, that didn't work, and so it's, again, coming from that place of no fear. All right. Now, if people want, we can do the $10 mini readings. I love Jesus so much. He is coming back soon through all of us and through our Christ love. Salim, yes, Salim. If anyone would like a $10 mini reading, we can still do those. But that's what I have for you on Soul Destiny. Now, we're going to be going deep for 3 days, including daily meditations, Reiki, and you're just going to get so much information of how to align or create a life that is soul aligned. What does soul destiny mean? And we're going to go deeper than what we're doing here publicly. It's going to be an esoteric space, place, and temple of soul destiny. How you can protect yourself, which the highest one of all, the highest protection is knowing thyself. And in the mind, though. They say that, it could take 2 years for you to say affirmations and to actually believe it. And so it's adopting that belief. And as you do adopt that belief, you believe it's true, and it is true, right? That is truth. But it's undoing the programs, that are not of our truth. And so we're going to be going just deep into the 40 laws, including these 3 immutable laws, but we're going to go deeper into the other laws, how to create a soul-aligned life, different mantras, different rituals, different ways to manifest, to materialize, and finally get your soul destiny on the ground. We're going to be doing that November 29th for 3 days straight. Feel free to join at 144bluerosetemple.com. It's called Boundless But Boundaries. How to create a boundless life that is free and liberated. It's going to take some boundaries. Again, it's that law of 3. We need the masculine and feminine energy to actually manifest things. And sometimes what I see is that light workers who are really good people, like you are a really good person, you have good intentions. There's a lack of boundaries, right? There's like maybe fear, right? Of like, oh, but I keep getting spiritually attacked. No, they have no power over you. And so we're just going to be going over those different things on November 29th. So feel free to join at 144bluerosetemple.com. Fafo, people are overdoing their rituals thing. Well, I'm sorry, I'm missing trolls. No worries. All right, but that's what I have for everyone here. I'm going to finish off with an Isis Oracle. Reminder that we do have 25% off the website. All one-on-one sessions are 25% off using Scorpio. I love how the sun's coming in for that too. Scorpio season. All right. So use the code Scorpio season at checkout on the website. You get 25% off. What do we have as a closing message for the chosen ones on soul destiny? I knew that card was going to come out too. I like this. Power over the 7 scorpions. It is Scorpio season. Jesus had power over the 7 scorpions. Mary Magdalene had power over the 7 scorpions. The 7 scorpions represent your power over lower forces, right? Power over the 7 scorpions. So we're at the story of Isis, right? And the 7 scorpions, where this was her truth too. Like the story of Isis was actually a single mother that was treated like a slave. She was working odd jobs. She was, doing like the yarn and the wool. Isis was the goddess queen of Egypt. People don't realize what her story actually is and was, that Isis was a single mother. And the story is like she was living in poverty. She was facing attacks day by day. But she was given the 7 scorpions to protect her and Horus. So this is Horus and this is Isis here. Despite Isis being on her own, the 7 scorpions are what would attack anyone who tried to attack Isis. What this truly represents, and I love that this came out though in Scorpio season, the underworld, right? The unconscious, someone's underworld, unconscious, subconscious. You have authority over the subconscious, the unconscious of other people. And by that I mean, they could send energy your way. If it's lower, it has no power over you. You have power over the 7 scorpions. You have power over other people's egos, opinions, judgments, and negativity. All right. And so that's what this represents over here is Isis was on her own. and being attacked by all of Egypt in every corner and direction. But she had the 7 scorpions that were always with her. But what that really represents is the mastery of the lower mind. And then no one else's lower mind has power over you. So that's what that represents is, thank you over here. If, anyone tries to attack you from the lower mind, you mastered your lower mind. You're the queen or the king of your underworld. Therefore, no one else's fears, no one else's underworld has any power over you. And that's the Scorpio energy and gifts. All right. Why power over the 7 scorpions here? That's your key. All right. Key of life. Scales of balance over here. Use your key. All right. Key of life. Spinning the Ankh, the key of life. And then power over the 7 scorpions. Okay. This is your authority. All right, now that's what I have for you. I hope that it resonates today. Today was a little bit of some Sunday church on soul destiny, the immutable laws, which just a reminder, the law of mentalism, the all is the mind, that's the Om, right? The sound of creation. The law of correspondence, as above, so below, so within, so without. And the law of vibration, these are 3 laws that cannot be changed. All right. Now that's what I have for you all. I hope that it resonates in a positive way. I'm going to be back tomorrow for Pisces readings, and we're going to go live this week for, I believe I still have to do air signs. So air signs, water signs, and earth signs. We got these 3 readings and lives coming up this week, all right? But much love to you all, and many blessings to your Sun day, wherever you are, whoever you are.